So if you're just hopping on, you guys, my name is Amanda Sobey, and I have Chris Tichio from VitasupportMD, who is going to be celebrating our World Lymphedema month-long celebration. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
I'm doing great, Amanda. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. We are on a whirlwind of a month where I have been celebrating beautiful companies that I have gotten a chance to know very intimately over my journey with lymphedema. And I have the privilege of hosting these webinars for you today at home to learn about these products, learn a little bit more as to what they do and why I use them. But before we get started and getting to know a little bit about Chris, if you have not joined us on any webinars previous to this, welcome. And for those of you who are veterans to this webinar, you guys already know what I'm going to say. So I'm going to go through the simple housekeeping tips of what to expect. So for those of you who are at home, this is your opportunity to ask questions as we are having a conversation. We will answer your questions either immediately if we have a chance as it flows into the conversation, or we will wait until the end of our demonstration or our conversation to answer those questions. Get going on with Chris. And I'm very happy to have you here. I knew it was hard for our schedules to meet up. So again, I'm just grateful that we were able to get you to join. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with VitasupportMD?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure seeing you again. You've been a great supporter of ours. And my name is Chris Tichio. I'm the co-founder of VitasupportMD. We're based out of New Jersey. And we're a nutraceutical company, and we're very specialized. A lot of nutraceutical companies create a whole host of products for overall general health and well-being, which is fantastic. But we specialize specifically in the production of supplements geared toward venous and lymphatic disease. And VitasupportMD's journey started about 5 years ago when Dr. Chubak, my business partner and very close friend, was astounded by the research over the years done by Monica Glavitsky and a lot of the think tank leaders in France for the past 30 years on a chemical compound found naturally in citrus fruit called diosmin and hesperidin. And the technical term is MPFF, or micronized purified flavonoid fraction. And these are bioflavonoids that occur naturally. Most of them are found in citrus fruit, mostly the blood orange. And they have enormous health benefits for people suffering with venous and lymphatic disease. So after we dove into the research, consulted with Monica Glavitsky and all of her life's work in France, we decided to bring to market our own MPFF, which wasn't easy, I have to tell you. Micronizing diosmin as a whole is difficult. Sourcing diosmin as a whole is very difficult. Having it manufactured in the proper facility, in an FDA registered facility here in Nevada, was difficult. And I thought it was going to be easy, but apparently it wasn't. So we brought it to market. It's been a fabulous run in that we are bringing to market and knowledge to patients the benefits of micronized purified flavonoid fraction in aspects of venous and lymphatic disease. And it's been a little bit of a godsend. I mean, I get so many compliments and so many praises and so many reviews on how MPFF has helped people. So it kind of warms my heart a little bit. And we're on a wonderful journey. And this year we launched the 1000 series, which is the clinical dose of 1,000 milligrams of MPFF.
So I'm going to stop you because we're going to play a little Q&A here. We're going to pretend like people over on the other side of this camera have no idea what a bioflavonoid. Okay. So can we tell people out there that are watching, because supplements come in various forms. And I think when people hear the word supplement, they honestly think it's this magical pill that's going to just cure everything. But you know, and I know that nutraceuticals are not always created equally. So can we just break it down and tell people what a bioflavonoid is and how that helps people with, like us, that have venous insufficiency issues and lymphatic issues?
Sure. I'd be more than happy to. So a bioflavonoid, a flavon meaning essentially yellow in nature and color. These are very potent chemical compounds that are found in nature. And it's where most of the citrus fruit and plant organic matter gets its color. But the research over the years has been very specific. when we source the micronized purified flavonoid fraction, we extract the diosmin, and the diosmin is the more abundant chemical compound found in fruit, but it's really the hesperidin, which is the more chemically and biologically active component. This supplement is used in venous disease and has been used in venous lymphatic disease for 30 plus years. And the mechanism by which it works is pretty simple. They're not quite sure how it works. That's the fascinating part of science and nature in general. Nature delivers you a beautiful green or beautiful pink grapefruit in all its purity and in all its goodness. And you wonder how it got there, how it really works. And maybe that's more of a divine question for God Almighty. But when scientists look at it, they notice that when you have chronic venous insufficiency, you have white blood cells that have adhesion molecules on the white blood cell itself. When there's chronic venous insufficiency, there is an enormous amount of inflammation happening within the body. And what happens is that white blood cell adheres to the endothelium, which is the lining of the cellular wall of the vein. So when the white blood cell adheres to it, it starts to break down the cellular lining. And after that, all hell breaks loose, right? So you begin to get trophic changes. You start to have capillary permeability. You start to see edema. You start to see large amounts of inflammation, fluid retention. What they're not quite sure in how it works, but it does work, is diosmin alters the adhesion molecule on the white blood cell. So for some reason, it alters it such that it allows it to flow naturally through the lining of the vein wall and not stick to it and start to break it down. Like every nutraceutical and every supplement given to us on Earth, it's not a magical cure. This is all adjunctive therapy. This is meant to be used alongside compression, healthy lifestyle, proper exercise and diet. It's a part of a tool in your armamentarium to fight venous and lymphatic disease. It's not one pill and wow, my lymphedema is gone. But it certainly does make a difference.
So what I'm hearing is that the bioflavonoid, diosmin specifically, is a natural occurring substance that helps to reduce the inflammation inside our bodies.
Correct.
Is that in long and short?
So much so, and it has no bias. And I'll tell you why. I have people that call me all the time and say, you know, my legs feel much better, but I got to tell you, my shoulder and my tennis elbow feel better. I'm like, well, it's a very potent anti-inflammatory. Mm-hmm. The bioflavonoid, it's bioflavonoid is not it's not selective. It's gonna treat inflammation that's chronic throughout the body.
Well, and I think that's a very important thing to mention. So I have edema in my right leg predominantly, but I have inflammation throughout my body. You know, I have injuries, which is going to cause inflammation, right? And the body's first response to injury is inflammation. So if you bang your knee, you know, if something happens, you're going to have inflammation. So I think it's fabulous that you can take a product such as Lymphatic Formula 1000 to help triage the edema, but you will obviously start to see benefits other places in your body, especially if you do have injuries or inflammation that exists there.
Well, it's so powerful of an anti-inflammatory. Dr. Glavitsky, who is our chief scientific and medical director, gave a presentation on the studies that have been done on micronized purified flavonoid fraction and COVID. And MPFF had shown very useful in protecting the inflammation, preventing the inflammation and protecting the lung cell from infiltration of COVID. So it's been documented and studied, and Dr. Glavitsky gave a wonderful presentation at the American Venous and Lymphatic Symposium in October. That's how potent of a bioflavonoid this is. As Monica Glavitsky once said, it is God's perfect molecule.
Well, and speaking about molecules, so the MPFF, I would like to talk a little bit in simple terms about why people need to understand that the particle size of these bioflavonoids is incredibly important for the quality of these products, because you can go anywhere around the world and you can Google search diosmin, you can Google search hesperidin, sure. But I want to talk about the MPFF that VitasupportMD has invested in to making sure that the efficacy and the quality is going to be at the highest standards possible. So can you tell everybody at home what MPFF is, and also the benefits of having a micronized, fractionated molecule, teeny tiny for absorption of bioavailability?
Yeah, all the studies and the research done over the years have only been done on micronized purified flavonoid fraction, and in its efficacy has to be micronized. And what we mean by that is when a supplement, or in this case, an ingredient is micronized, it is blasted with air to be below 5 microns. And a micron is, it's a very small unit of measurement, but without it, the studies show that the diosmin and the hesperidin do not get absorbed within the gut. So you're essentially, might as well flushing it literally down the toilet. So you will see many bioflavonoids on the market today. You will see many diosmins. You can go to Amazon right now or go to your local health food store. You'll see diosmin and hesperidin. That's great and well, and there's nothing against that. As it relates to venous disease and lymphatic disease, it needs to be micronized for optimal gut absorption. Otherwise, it won't work. I mean, the studies are there. And we have an enormous amount of resources and studies. You can direct your listeners to our website to see Monica Glavitsky's outstanding research over the years. It's all posted on our website. We also went to great lengths in producing a product that was manufactured in an FDA-registered facility. Can you see that? There you go. That's the original. We have to get
this is the OG. I know we're getting mine. Yeah.
You're getting the 1000 series with 1,000 milligrams. It's produced in an FDA-registered facility. We were very conscious and aware of making sure that the product is free of dyes, preservatives, shellfish, wheat, dairy, gluten, all the allergens I know that can affect the body, because I have a lot of those allergens, so I'm well aware of it. But also we wanted to make sure it was also manufactured in a GMP facility with good manufacturing practices, because we weren't going to do this and bring you something that was made in a bathtub and bring it to market. Supplements today is a very unregulated sector of the nutritional market. Here in America, the FDA does not regulate supplements. It's a little bit self-regulated, which is scary. When you get products online, you don't know if it's made in China. You don't know where the materials come from. So I didn't want to be part of that club. I wanted to bring to market, especially if I'm having Dr. Glavitsky's name on it and Dr. Chubak's name. So rest assured, all the measures have been taken.
So just to clarify, again, a lot of supplements, you can take a supplement, but there sometimes isn't a bioavailability able to uptake that ingredient. So again, like Chris said, you can be taking supplements that you find over the counter or whatever, and like, that's all good. But if the body is unable to absorb them, it's giving you zero benefit. So you very well could be investing in a product that you get that placebo effect where you think you're doing something good for your body, but you're literally just throwing the money down the drain because the body is unable to absorb it. Because the lymphatic formula 1000 is smashed into smithereens for the technical people out there, it makes it very easy for the body to absorb these bioflavonoids to then obviously exhibit their healing properties, or I guess I don't want to say healing per se, but their beneficial properties of fighting against the inflammation that exists with people with edema. And I would like to further add, they are regulated and they are stamped in an FDA facility. There's no gluten, no soy, no nuts, no dairy, no shellfish. So anybody out there more or less can take them. And this type of ingredient is found in citrus fruits. We all know, I want to say we all know, but people with lymphedema know the benefits of having citrus in our diet to help combat against the inflammation. And diosmin and hesperidin are found in citrus fruit.
And I might add, as we're on the topic of fruit, a lot of people say, well, can I just eat oranges? You'd have to eat the equivalent of 10,000 oranges in 2 capsules. To receive the benefit of the potent bioflavonoid. Because remember, it's not the actual fruit, it's the pith.
Down in the skin. Yeah.
It's correct. It's the pith under the rind where that white mealy, part of the citrus fruit is. We're extracting the diosmin from that. So there are no contraindications whatsoever. I want to explain to your audience and your listeners. Studies on diazepam have been performed for the past 30 years, and there are no contraindications to any other medication out there. So feel free and feel comfortable, I should say, in adding a bioflavonoid to your regimen, because it's not going to interfere with any blood pressure medication, heart medication, or the like. We have people from all walks of life, from 18-year-olds to 85-year-olds that are on vein formula and lymphatic formula.
That's super important. I think we should answer some questions right now. So again, if you're sitting at home and you're watching, we're going to not only tell you where to get this product, but this is now our time where Chris and I will be answering your questions, probably more so Chris than myself, but you never know. We can tag team.
You're well versed.
You never know. It's not my first rodeo on this, so we'll see how it goes. So Diane, she has been using lymph formula for about 8 months and the vein formula for about 5 months. She loves the lymph, but I'm not sure the vein is beneficial. She doesn't really want to stop it though, because it may be helping and I just don't see it. So do we have any pieces of advice for Diane who's watching at home?
Well, Diane, if you're taking both, I would certainly recommend continue taking both. And the reason why I say that is because most patients benefit from very high doses of MPFF. And in lymphatic formula, which we didn't really touch on, there is a component, a mineral in there called selenium. And selenium is very beneficial with swelling. However, there is selenium toxicity that you shouldn't take too much selenium. The dosage that we have is totally safe and totally normal. So most people take vein formula alongside lymphatic formula. I could tell you, and I don't want you to go off of it, but I could tell you if you did go off of it, you would notice a difference because most people try to measure, there's subjective and then there's quantitative. You can measure the circumference of a leg, you can measure fluid, and then there's really subjective, how your leg feels. You can't really measure that. Most of it is due to subjective, and a smaller part is really quantitative, where you could measure size of the leg and size of the arm, wherever the lymphedema may be, and measure that. But I can tell you, I take vein formula every day. I ran out of vein formula, and this isn't a joke. I ran out of vein formula, so it's like the shoemakers kids without any shoes. Like I have plenty of access to the product, but I forgot it. And I ran out and I went on vacation, and I was on vacation for 2 weeks. About 10 days in, my knee, and I take it for my knee. I don't have venous disease. My knee was on fire. It was killing me. And I'm like, what is going on? All of a sudden I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, oh, I haven't taken vein formula in like 10 days. So I could tell you to stick with it. I could tell you the MPFF, if you're noticing on lymphatic, you're also noticing the benefits of vein as well. They're both, like I said, very highly potent bioflavonoids that work systemically throughout the body to help with inflammation. So I would stick with it.
Good question. Good question. Thank you for answering. Okay. Another question is, so if anybody wants to get these products, where should they go? I think that, should we go directly to the website, or where can people find this, the products?
You go to VitasupportMD.com. You can go to Amazon. You can call us directly. Our number's on the website as well. Whatever's more convenient for you, whatever you feel more comfortable with, they're available everywhere. I'm
going to give a little plug because I have a discount code. So if you're at home and you go to Vitasupport,
use Sobey 20, Sobey 20, and receive 20% off. And remember, shipping's always free. Shipping's always free.
There you go. Yeah. And so I think it's the VitasupportMD website that my affiliate link works through. I don't know if it works through Amazon.
It doesn't. So they don't allow codes like that. Amazon is like the
Jeffrey Bezos wants more money. What can I say?
Yeah, they make life so difficult to sell anything. But if you go to our website, if you are in the US, I wanted to reiterate, shipping is free. We can't ship free shipping internationally, but if you're in the US, shipping is free. And if you type in Sobey 20, you'll get 20% off.
And check out all their products. Again, I think the nice thing about the reason why I use VitasupportMD, again, it comes down to the quality of the ingredients. And I know that my body is going to absorb them. The honey is amazing.
I'm glad you like the honey. It's that was a labor of love, that product. We sourced that honey from Brazil.
We really are only talking about the lymphatic formula 1000 today, but there is a series of products that are on the market and they are very beneficial. So again, do check out their website. The thing, like I said, that I'm going to finish my sentence is the fact that they are manufactured in the United States, but they're under very high regulations. The quality of the ingredients are very, very pure, very just beneficial. They have the utmost standards based on being micronized and just being fractionated and just being at that point where our bodies are going to be able to absorb them efficiently. Kind of sold me on the product. We are running out of time, you guys. So if you do have some final questions and you do want to ask Chris something, please do so. Again, it is a privilege to have him here. He's a very busy guy. He's not the easiest to get a hold of. So let's use his time wisely. But if you don't have any more questions for us, then I don't think, is there anything else that we forgot to mention about the lymphatic formula 1000 today?
No, I would just tell people that in general, you know, a lot of, oftentimes with supplements, it's not like an Advil where you take an Advil and your headache feels better in, you know, about 20 minutes. Anyone who's used supplement, anyone who uses diet as a mean to combat illness, anyone who exercises, you don't do one crunch and you don't do one 30-minute session and look like Amanda. What? No,
you don't?
No, you don't. Like everything, it takes time to work within the body. Your lymphedema didn't, you know, start overnight. It certainly is a long-standing issue that we're dealing with. People with venous and lymphatic disease are long-term sufferers. So I don't want to tell everybody this is the magic pill. It is not. It is a highly effective and highly potent anti-inflammatory that will aid your body in normal venous function and lymphatic function. And
I like that you said that, because I find that, so for people with lymphedema, I find myself, I do stick and adhere to a certain kind of a lifestyle for food. And sometimes it's hard to be perfect, but I do find, like, let's say if I fall off the wagon and I go to a friend's house and have birthday cake, for example, I know my body is going to swell and going to get under more inflammation. So again, it's a great product to have as a backup to combat those days that I'm knowing that I'm going to have more inflammation. But as well, you also mentioned, and I think too, the biggest message that I've been able to broadcast during this month-long celebration, and I know it sounds kind of cliche, but we need to have multiple tools in our toolboxes. You know, we can use lymphatic formula 1000, but we're also, and Dr. Chubak and Dr. Glavinsky and myself included, we also encourage you to still wear your compression, still go exercise, still eat properly, get your MLD. You know, this is just an added tool to help make things easier for you, but you cannot rely on this as your only significant magic pill solution. And for those of you out there that may have very, very severe edema, like we're talking stage 3, stage 4, you might not notice the lymphatic formula 1000 taking effective immediately. Of course, there's so much fibrosis, there's so much inflammation that it's going to take a while for this bioflavonoid to work effectively. So don't just take it once and then pitch it to the garbage thinking that it didn't do its job. It is very important that you understand the benefits of these products and then use them accordingly, and then obviously use them and enjoy the privileges of the benefits by being consistent.
Correct. Consistency is key. I agree.
Okay. You guys are quiet there today. We had Steph hop on. Diane was appreciative for answering the question. So I thank you for typing in, Diane. But again, if you don't have any questions, you guys, and if you're going to be super quiet, that leaves us no choice but to say thanks for joining. And we're going to go on to your chance to enter in for lymphatic formula 1000. This is your last call to get in any questions for Chris. Again, we do create these webinars for you at home. So please do say something. But if not, I'm going to say so long and farewell.
Well, thank you for having me, Amanda.
Thanks so much for joining me, Chris. I know it was kind of complicated getting you here. Our schedules are super crazy.
Yeah.
But it worked out. Years to see one another.
I know. I look forward to seeing you, and you're doing God's work, and I'm glad we could be a part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. So we're going to say goodbye to Chris. And again, thank you so much for those of you who chimed in to watch us today. Please stay there. We are going to pop off and a survey should pop in. It only literally takes 30 seconds. I kept it really short and sweet because my attention span is the size of a nut. So hopefully you guys at home will just obviously fill out the survey, get your name registered to win some free product, and you will hear from me in April with the giveaways and the winners of the prize. So thanks so much, Chris. You have a great evening, and thanks so much to you guys at home for watching. And I will see you tomorrow because I have Zarvesta with me to go through dry brushing and elevation pillows. So that's a good one.
Wonderful. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.